I can't believe the year is almost done. This year has just flown by. Many of you listening out there may feel exactly the same way. And I can't believe that I got through already the first semester of my PhD program. It's been a lot of learning, for me, a lot of fun along the way. And I can honestly say that I really enjoyed my first semester, and it probably exceeded all of my expectations going into this. I know a few months back, I did an episode saying that I'm starting and didn't know what to expect. Fully thrown into the mix now, I want to recap that and share some of my experiences and how the semester went. Welcome back, everyone, to the HNL Movement podcast. For any new listeners, thank you for joining in. You're in the right place to learn about everything that gears to elevating your performance. And if you haven't checked out the previous library of episodes, we are on episode 101, just released episode 100 last week. And it's been a great journey recording all of these episodes with great guest interviews, a lot of topics that I'm trying to share more of the content. And moving forward, I plan to share a lot more future content that will get a lot of good information out there to anyone that's looking to perform better. All of my returning listeners, thank you again for joining me for another episode. If you haven't already, please go to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, subscribe to the podcast. That will all help with the growth of the podcast as well. And for some of you that want to see some of the video content that coincide with the audio content, you can go to my YouTube channel. Just search for HNL Movement, HNL Movement Podcast, or search for my name. And I've been putting up highlight episode clips daily. I plan to hopefully accelerate how many highlight clips are going up daily. So keep checking back, subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And if you find anything that you enjoy or take away information from, please share them with family and friends. So for this episode, I have nothing formally planned. The last few weeks has been really hectic, wrapping up with finals, a lot of projects, a lot of things that I needed to get done, and still running my business, running the podcast. So all of those things, it's been a little crazy, but it's been well worth it. And I enjoy doing all of this. So I'm going to keep this episode brief, just share some of my reflections, some of my thoughts and my experiences. And anyone that's looking to maybe pursue a PhD in the future, or anyone that's in a PhD now, maybe you can relate to some of this, but I know that everyone's PhD journey is very unique. So first, let's start off with what the semester was like. I think in the beginning, I had certain expectations or thoughts as to how the semester was going to go. I would say I was pretty close, but until you get thrown into the fire, you don't really know what to expect. And I can say after going through the first semester, all of the things that I've been exposed to, a part of, working hard on, they've all been very, very interesting, super rewarding. And I've had to work my butt off this semester, to be honest. But for me, it's all really worth it. It's things I'm really interested in, really passionate about. So all of this is things that I look forward to. I think one of the big things is that every day of the week, I have something a little bit different, I would say, but they're all tying into the same goal of working me towards my PhD. And with that, I think the biggest change for me is that every day of the week, there's something that I'm really looking forward to. So it's like tomorrow, maybe I have class and maybe I have to do other things. In the afternoon, maybe I'm going to work with some of my clients. The next day, maybe it's a podcast recording. The following day, it's research commitments. The next day, it's studying for this class. And the next day, I might be in the lab. So there's all these different types of things that it makes it very interesting. And I'm not doing the exact same thing every single day, but I kind of got used to this routine where certain days of the week, I know this is where my attention is going to be dedicated to. And it was very exciting for me. It kept me on my toes. I was honestly never bored. I was very, very mentally stimulated throughout every single day of the week. And that's something that I was looking forward to at this point in my career too. I don't want to get into all the nitty gritty stuff, but basically, academically, this is by far the most academically challenging thing that I've ever done. So there's a lot of things that I've done in the past through grad school, but this is the depth of which you learn things and which you're thinking critically about. that is something that I'm excited to keep improving, because there's no way that I'm even close to where I need to be in my second, third, or fourth year yet. But I can see the direction that I'm headed. And that is something that I really enjoy, because I want to challenge myself. I want to learn all of these things. I want to learn more. So all of this has been very, very fun for me. I know it's not for everyone. And I would recommend, if someone is always looking to learn more and you want to dive deeper into knowledge, you want to dive into research, find some of the answers to the questions that have always been asked or future questions in that area, then a PhD would be very interesting probably for you. But there's also the other side where this might not be the most interesting thing for you, but you still can be great practitioners, great clinicians, and you can do a lot of things even outside of a PhD. So I'm for both sides. For me, I think this was a very good fit, and I really enjoyed the first semester. On top of that, because it was so academically challenging, I have never studied this much in my entire life. And that is hands down. Anyone that knows me from before and has been around me through this semester, it was constantly studying. And I would say it's not because I'm not getting the concepts. It's just because there's so much that I need to learn and I want to learn about. So it's always studying. My position as a graduate research assistant, that entailed a lot of research. I've been exposed to so many different types of research articles, looking into all these various topics, reading research for my GA position, reading research for a class, reading research for other classes. This has been something that it really opened my eyes into the world of research. And I'm by no means really versed in research yet. I know I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg, but how many articles that I've looked through every week, that is something that was exciting. I learned a ton, and I'm starting to get a better feel for how my 4 years are going to progress and continue throughout my career. So that is something briefly that a lot of studying, a lot of reading research, a lot of class commitments or academic commitments that I enjoyed. Now, thinking back, what did I learn? I think I've learned a ton in this past, 16, 17 weeks of classes. And it was it seemed like very accelerated. The amounts of things that I was learning from week to week, that was really exciting for me and motivated me to do more. And I could see the progress that I was making, not only in class, but outside of class too, with how much new material I was going over and how much of this was adding to the bigger picture, bigger scheme of things in the semester. Another key point is that I've realized that everyone's PhD program, and I'm just speaking for more the kinesiology and biomechanics field, ex-phys field, I've learned that everyone's PhD program is very unique. So you can, within the line of research that whatever institution you're at, you're creating your journey. And for me, there's a lot of things that, due to my clinical experience, there's a lot of things that I think influence the direction or potential direction, areas of interest that I want to go into. That is very different from having a standardized curriculum and a standardized track that you need to check off competencies as you graduate or as you progress to graduation. This is more like there are things that we have to do, but there's so many different directions that you can go even within my specific track. And that's super interesting to me because it's using all of my past experiences, all of the things that I want to do in the future, and how do I make everything kind of fit together so that we're all moving in the same direction. And that is something that I think a lot of other PhD students or PhD graduates would agree with, is that you're really creating your own journey so that you are paving that path for your future career. Along those lines, I realized, I think I already knew this, but even more so after the first few weeks, I really realized that 4 years are going to fly by so quickly. It's not like we're just sitting down or I'm sitting down and twiddling my thumbs. There are so many things that I need to do along the way to make sure that I set myself up to actually earn my PhD. So with all of that, every week is just jam-packed. It's jam-packed to the max with what I'm trying to do. And of course, there's only so much that I can do in a week. So it's finding that right balance. Don't waste time. be super efficient, and start to do all of these things. Just plan, even planning for a semester. Every month, it's like you need to work on so many different things. How can I break that down into feasible steps? Every week, what do I have to get done? Okay, if that's what I need to get done by next week, what do I need to do every day of this week to make sure that I check off some of these things on my to-do list? So it's really making sure that I'm time managing and working as efficiently as possible. Now, along those lines, it's really setting a priority list. And I think that's what I'm learning. I think I've always learned how to, set the priorities and try to figure out how to get as many things as I can done in a certain time frame. But even more so, I realized there's so many things that I could spend my time doing. How do I prioritize this and get even more focused on what I really need to do? There's a lot of things that I can't get to, but it's things that I'm still interested in, and I just need to figure out how to prioritize everything so that I can do what's most important first. With that, I can say that my time was utilized very well and was more jam-packed than I thought. So people are thinking, okay, well, what are you doing? What do you do during the week? I have to be at certain classes, of course. Classes and studying time, it kind of varies from week to week. But my estimate, looking back at my schedule and my calendar, is that the time spent in physical classes and studying outside of classes, I'm probably putting in an average of 20 to 25 hours a week. On heavier weeks, it might be a little bit more, give or take a few hours, but I am spending a big chunk of my time just attending classes and a bigger chunk of my time studying outside of classes. On top of that, my GA position is a research assistant. So with that, I'm spending at the bare minimum, I would say 20 hours a week, even more than that on weeks that are a little busier, that I have other things to tend to or projects that we're working on. So that was about, let's say 20, 25 hours a week as well. So you think just classes and my GA position, that already is somewhere in the realm of 40 to 50 hours a week, give or take what the week looks like. And on top of that, outside, I'm still doing things like the podcast, running my business, working with clients. So that's my fun really. But that takes about probably around 15 to 20 hours a week. Some of the things that I need to do on the side, business things, correspondence, emails, all of those things, it does add up too, not only for business, but for school. So all of these things throughout the day, it's pretty jam-packed. For all of you that follow my social media, my Instagram has been non-existent because there has been no time for that. So that's a good example of priorities. I do want to get my Instagram going. I do think there's a lot of things that I want to share. But in the big scheme of things, with the time it takes and what I need to do, that has fallen a lot lower on my priority list than all of my other commitments that I need to do. So with all of that, it's just taught me how to be more efficient. Now, even though I have all of these different things to do, to me, because I'm looking forward to majority of it, it's actually been very chaotic and busy, but my stress levels have been actually way lower than what it has been in the past. So it's kind of interesting how it's kind of played out over the weeks and over the semester. Now, in the beginning, I would say the first couple weeks, it was kind of getting my feet wet and figuring out, okay, what do I need to do? How do I need to spend my time? How do I keep track of everything that's going on? And after that, around the second week of September, I felt like it was 0 to 100 and we were going full speed the rest of the semester. And every week there was a lot of things to do. There was a lot of things that kept me busy. And like I said, it felt like it was very accelerated. So that was something that even though it was very busy and a little stressful at times, it was something that I really enjoyed as the semester progressed. I don't want to go too much into the specific things that I learned, but there was tons of things that I've learned through reading research, through my anatomy class, ex-phys class, even one of the research methods class. There's tons of things that I got exposed to. And I realized it's such a small piece of what is out there that you just got to keep growing, keep learning. And that makes it exciting because it's pretty much endless things that you can keep learning about. So as I mentioned, that was another big positive. So what am I looking forward to? Well, there's a lot of things that I'm working on. and I'll keep this really brief. So over break, it's a little break from formal classes, but obviously there's a lot of things going on. I'm using this time to catch up on business things, continue to train and work with the small group of clients that I do. I will spend a little time to relax. It's the holidays, so spend some time to do that. But also there are some things that I want to get done in the next 3 weeks before the spring starts up again. And that deals with some review and training on my own, some things to help lighten up the next semester. Also working on projects that will be carried out in the next year that I'm excited to. Some of these will be used for abstracts, presentations in the future, papers, things that will help me, the lab, other students in the department to kind of move forward in a certain direction. So I'm looking forward to do all of those things. I am actually using the break time to get caught up on creating the podcast episodes, interviewing some of the great guests that I've been meaning to connect with. So thank you for all of the guests that are coming on the podcast and all of the previous guests as well. Looking to get some of the things done for my business, which includes creating some of the content, putting it up on YouTube, getting my social media going, all of these little things. So there's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to over break. And I know that 3 weeks will fly by in a flash. So I do plan to enjoy it and do all of these things. And I'm really looking to hit the ground running once the spring semester starts. So I'm not trying to take my foot off the gas pedal, trying to keep plugging along. And I'm really, really thankful and grateful to have a great group of people that I'm working with. My advisors, the people helping me, supporting me, classmates, colleagues, all of these people. So I'm really looking forward to keep the ball rolling, keep the momentum going, and go full speed ahead into the spring semester. The thing about it is that I know the spring semester is right around the corner, and I know that semesters fly by. So after this, I'll keep everyone updated along the way. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel, social media. I'm going to probably try to start up on Twitter again, some of these things, because I realize that there's a lot of good ways to get exposed to information and also share information as well. So I'm looking forward to all of that. And before you know it, the first year will be pretty much done. So that's my brief update, is that I've really enjoyed everything that I'm doing. I look forward to enjoying some time during break. I look forward to getting things done during break and then heading into the next semester. For a lot of people listening out there, if you ever want to reach out, feel free to contact me. You can contact me at andrew@hnlmovement.com. Contact me on social media, or for anybody that's looking to just have conversation, collaborate, touch base, please feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to. There's a lot of people in the community that things got so hectic so fast that there's a lot of people that I want to reach out to that I haven't talked to for months now. So anyone out there that wants to connect, please contact me. Other than that, stay tuned for more. A lot of exciting things are coming down the pipeline. I am working hard to get all of this out there. And really all of this information, again, is meant to help anyone and everyone in some way, help you to improve your overall performance as you navigate through life, and help you to elevate the quality of your life. I hope everyone enjoys the holidays. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a happy new year. I know we're just around the corner. Can't believe Christmas is already this coming weekend. So enjoy that. Enjoy time with family and friends. Reflect on all of the things that you've done, things that have been good, things that have been not so good this past year, and use that to build some momentum going into next year. Overall, I can't thank everyone enough for all of the support. Please help me to spread the word. Please help me to continue to push out this content to more and more people. And that is what the HNL movement is all about. I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Again, Merry Christmas. Enjoy some time to relax and stay tuned for more. I'll be back here, same time, same place. New episodes are released every Tuesday. Until then, aloha.